Hey YouTubers, yeah, I'm back. We didn't quit on here, we're not done. It's just been a long summer with the boys and baseball and just a long summer with lots of rabbits and stuff we've been dealing with. Raised a bunch of bunnies, so we've gotten rid and sold a bunch of bunnies, and back to showing again in that show season for the fall. So without, you know how it is, you just don't know what's changed and you can't remember quite, so I'm just going to run through everything this first video back, and hopefully I can fill you in on where we've been and what we've been doing and what happened. So there's Mr. Zero right there. This is, and he's the senior white buck. And then there's Crackle, he's snoozing. They did, all three of these guys did some breeding, and Rollo too. They did some breeding yesterday. Got to do some more breeding tonight for some juniors for nationals. So this here is Iceman. Iceman is a son of Zero. His mother is Milky Way, and Milky Way is a red doe. So last weekend at one of our state shows, Mr. Iceman here won best opposite sex New Zealand. He won, or best opposite sex white New Zealand, and then his sister won best of breed New Zealand 2 shows in a row, and the second show she won best of breed. Well, when she won best of breed, she won second reserve for best in show. So she did really good. They both won both whites, and she won best of breed both times. This little guy here is, his name is now Crunch. I won't be able to show him. He has a broken tail. He broke that, I guess, when he was younger. He is out of Uncle Si, my broken chestnut that came from a broken red and Zero. So that's his grandpa there. And he is out of Uncle Si, who is broken, and then his mom was Starburst, who's a red. So I've broken right out of him. He was broken caster, or chestnut, or goody, or whatever you want to call it. Bred back to a red, and that's what I got. A real beautiful red buck out of him. And he's pretty nice. I hope he's the only one out of that litter that's a red buck. But he did have a broken tail, so I'm going to hold on to him for a while. His name is Crunch. We'll see how Crunch does. Now I'll take you outside and we'll go through the does. I guess I will show you this. We had this little baker's rack that my wife got some new cabinets, and I took this baker's rack, took the top off of it, covered it with carpet tape, put some carpet on it, and now it's a little grooming table for us outside. So we'll go over here. I'll just walk with you. Go in here to the rabbit area. And I'm about to lose my battery because it's dying, so when it dies I'll just have to go in and out because I wasn't ready for filming. So let's see here. I'm just going to run through the names and then we'll look at some babies in a minute. That is Starburst, y'all know her. This over here is that's Frost. She's out of Milky Way and Zero. This is Glacier. She was just bred last night. Frost will be bred tonight. Glacier's out of Milky Way and Zero. They're sisters and sisters to Iceman. And their sister Avalanche is the one that did so well. I'll show you her in a minute. There's Miss K right there. Her mom was the broken red Iris, and her dad's Zero, and she's a broken steel. And she was bred to Crackle. And Starburst there was bred to Whopper, and Whopper is no longer with me. Once he got proven and I got 3 nice red brokens, I don't know what they are, bucks or does. Once I saw that I had them, I went ahead and let Whopper move on. So he moved on to another person in the state, bought him, and so I got some lineage out of Whopper. And this here is, if you remember back when Dots, one of my videos, one of the last 1 or 2, it was her first litter. I took those real pretty brokens and I moved them over to that white doe to foster them. This is one of those broken does. Her sister moved on to another person in the state, but she's still here. And she's been showing really well. And so yeah, okay, so my battery died. I'm gonna have to play battery tag back and forth. Forgive me for cutting on in and out on stuff. Anyway, so she's the one I kept back for breeding. She's out of Crackle and Dots, and she was fostered over to that white doe back in the one of the last few videos you saw. She is since needs to be bred tonight or the next night for nationals, and her name is Reese's. This is Reese's broken doe. Over here is a doe out of Crackle and Milky Way. Her name is Twix, and Twix is a heavy broken red. and she got bred last night. So she's bred now. This here little girl is Kit Kat, and Kit Kat, here, sit up, baby. She's a really nice little doe. Here, sit up for him. Anyway, she's really nice. She's beautiful. And Kit Kat is a nice young doe I'm going to save back. I'm just going to be showing her until I'm done showing her next year, and then I'll get her into the breeding program. But that's Kit Kat, and oh, she's out of Crackle and Iris. Yeah. And by the way, no longer here is Iris, Dots, Baby Ruth, and Twizzler. Those 4 does are no longer with us. This is Charlie. Charlie is a full sister to Kit Kat, and her name's Charlie because she's a Charlie. She's 10% or less color, which is a DQ, and you can't show her. Because her sister's so nice and she's so nice, she's very nice type and build. So I'm going to hold on to her because I want to know if you breed Charlies to solids, if they throw all brokens or what the deal is. I was told they'll throw all brokens. We'll see. If not, oh well. I'm going to breed her at least one time, see what happens with them. And if they're really nice, then I'll keep her around. And if they're, you know, whatever I expect them to be, then she'll probably move on to make room for someone else. But I just want to know for my own reasons. These are 4 bucks here, 4 reds. They are out of Rollo and Milky Way. These are the first red on red breeding with Milky Way. She finally got bred to a red buck, and these are those kits. So there's 4 little bucks here. We'll determine who's the best 1 or 2 out of them, and I'll be keeping them back for nationals next year, for April too, and be showing them through the winter and spring, obviously. This is Dove, if y'all remember Dove. Dove was one I got in one of the last videos. She's one of the newer ones, and Dove is bred to Rollo last night. She got best opposite variety, so she was best opposite red her last show she went to, and she's beautiful. We're very happy with her. And here's Milky Way, and she has a litter in here. She was bred back to Iceman, who was her son out of the white buck breeding to try to get some reds. There was 2 reds, 2 steels, and a white, I think, born of that, and I'll show you those in a minute. And the battery's trying to die again, so we'll see what we can do. But here's Avalanche. Avalanche is out of Milky Way and Zero, made white. So red mom, white buck. She got 2 best of breeds last show here last weekend, and then she went on in the second show to get second reserve. So she got 2 best in breed legs, and then she got second reserve to best in show. So I'm basically, I guess, 3rd place overall for best in show, which super happy with. One of our own raised here, and even better that it was out of a red mama. So that's pretty special for us. So, and this buck down here, had to do another battery change, but this buck here, he's a real nice red out of Rollo and Twizzler. He was the best buck out of that whole litter, and he won best variety his show, this last show. So he got best variety out of a he had 7 in his class, a junior buck class, and he won best of that class. Then he went on to win best red overall. Super happy about that. Something that we raised, obviously, again, so that makes you even more excited. So doing real well with our reds and stuff. The lighting's not the best in here, but he is gorgeous, and he got a huge bull head on him. He's just a baby junior. Hey buddy, hey buddy. I know, he's tucked up. He's like, what is that camera all about? And then over here we have one of Miss K's babies. This is Miss K and Rollo's baby. So Miss K is out of my white buck and my broken red doe Iris. She was the broken steel over there, bred back to Rollo. And this is what we got. He's a little bit lighter in color, as you can tell. The steel's not throwing as well as the chestnuts are, in my opinion. But he's a pretty nice buck. He got very promising in all his remarks, and he was still pretty young, so we'll see how he does. And down here we got a little red doe that is Rollo and Milky Way's doe. She's a sister to those 4 bucks I just showed you, and she's the only doe out of that whole litter. So looking right here, she looks pretty nice, doesn't she? So that's pretty exciting. So that's a doe I'll be able to show. Here's 2 broken does that are out of Uncle Si and Starburst, and I'll show you their 2 sisters in a minute that I'm happy about. One of these is getting going to the freezer camp pretty soon. One of them may be staying back and taking Charlie's place in the future if Charlie don't stay around because of my little experiment with her. But these two are their sisters, two beautiful little red does. Again, these are Uncle Si, the broken castor, chestnut, agouti, whatever you want to call it. His mom was the broken red iris, dad the white zero buck, Grand Champ buck, and he was bred to Starburst, their mother. He threw about 70% reds. He had 2 off-colored ones, and then the rest of them were all red or broken red. There was 5 of them, and then there was like 2 others. So he was doing really well. Miss Kay, his sister, the broken steel, she only throwing about 20-25% back to red. So so far in my experiments, the castor or goodies or whatever you want to call them are the best to come back to red. But look at this color. I mean, these guys, their granddaddy is white, and look at that. I mean, they don't even have the yellowish tinge to their side. They're beautiful red. I know you can't tell in the coloring in here because of light, but they're gorgeous. Anyway, we're pretty excited about these two, so they ought to, maybe if they're both really good, we'll hold on to both of them. But I'm sure one of them is going to be staying around here and moving on to nationals and hanging around as a breeding doe. Well, I'm really sorry we haven't got back to you all and got any videos out. I know a lot of you have joined or subscribed to us since my last video, and I apologize for that if you've been waiting on stuff. I will try to get these babies out and see if I can get it in under 10 minutes.